Hello there everyone, Soulsummer17 here. Let me go first like usual. I made the thumbnail, I do not own the pictures, non-paid video. Alright, okay. So, here's the thing. I just found out something. I'm not seeing for Issei What If. I'm not gonna say what it is. But you guys are gonna be like, what? How would this make sense? Reasons why? Because fudge it. When it comes out. Yeah, I'm gonna make that probably Tuesday, or at least get a picture and then, well, I don't know. But anyways, after this What If, I'm gonna upload this and then the new Naruto What If. Yeah. So anyways, I'm gonna be coughing. Probably, I don't know how much, but if I pause the video, it's either I have to get a drink of water, do whatever else, or cough. So, yeah. Anyways, let's just continue the story. So, unlike what happened in the series, since it was Izuku fighting Mercury, not Yang, the entire, confusion did not work. And, well, this is going to be a little bit of a snag in the plan, slightly, but not really. Hold on. Oh, wait, I did forget to mention, I am basically adding something into the story, which I kind of already hinted in, but it's going to be where his semblance and his, magic will change significantly. Power of the Fall Maiden that he has, it's going to change. And, well, you'll see where. But anyway, so since it's not, that happening, will we go into, since basically no one's talking to Yang about her, attacking someone, basically they're injured, we're basically going to Izuku in the training room with everyone else, but helping Weiss out. He goes, now Weiss, how do you, summon? She's like, well, I try to image, basically, whatever I want to create, and then I use my semblance to then, use it to try and create it. But I'm always having trouble. So he was like, okay, show me how, you use your power to, use your semblance to create. And she goes, alright. So basically she shows Izuku entering an all-purpose training room. And while Izuku's seeing it, he says that she's having trouble. He's like, is this how your sister taught you? And she goes, yeah, actually. He goes, alright. Now, try a different stance. Try to, not focus on what your sister taught you. Let your own imagination and feelings go in your own way. She goes, huh? Just don't follow what your sister says. Everyone has a different way of summoning. It's like fighting. You can't always follow the same same pattern as someone else. You have to do your own thing. So try it like that. And she goes, alright. So basically, while she's doing it, she's not following her sister's, teaching. She's just, just letting her imagination, whatever flow, basically into her semblance. As all of a sudden, in this one, she does create something, but it's a miniature size. Like half of her height. Size. I just want to call it miniature. But she's like, I did it! He's like, well then, looks like you can create something. You just have to train it more. See? Everyone has a different way of summoning. I wonder if I can manipulate, fire, into my own hand. I wonder if I can also transform it. She goes, huh? He goes, let me try something real quick. She goes, alright. So Izuku starts to have fire come off of his hand, and then makes a circle. As then he, starts to close his eyes and focus on what he wants. All of a sudden, as he starts turning his hand, the fire itself is transforming into basically you say a little bird. As this is shocking to Weiss. She was like, amazing! I didn't know you could do this! As Izuku opens up his eyes and he sees a little bird, he was like, I didn't either. You just helped me figure it out. So, thanks. She basically says, it was nothing. And Blake, seeing this, she goes like, how's that possible? He's like, I don't know. Well, technically, if I really think about it, fire is, well, just a flame. There's no potent, nothing to it. If you really have your own imagination, it's like ice. You basically can create anything with it. Huh. This is gonna be interesting. But meanwhile, while this is all happening, we're gonna go to Emerald. Hold on. Emerald, Cinder, and Mercury. Yeah. As well. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. Anyways, Emerald says, what about the plan? It's basically gonna be hard, if we ever had to fight him. And Cinder says, I know. But, well, we really can't do much now. I wonder, could he really stop just around anyone in his vicinity? Or just himself? They're seeing any illusion. Which Emerald's like, what do you mean? He goes, there's a funny little thing I heard about, this girl named Penny. She's basically not human. Which Mercury's like, how do you find out? And Cinder says, oh, people love to talk. So, I found out from just some people that's supposed to look after her. Simple. Which Emerald's like, I see. So you're wondering if, he basically can just prevent magic. Well, not my magic, my semblance from working on him. Or anyone else. When she says, correct. She was like, alright. So, since basically this Penny girl, and Pyrrha are going to fight, this is going to be quite interesting to see what's going to happen to her. Which, yeah, they don't know Pyrrha's semblance. So, this is just, yeah, they don't know. Also, I did forget to mention, if you really think about it, since Pyrrha isn't stressed out, she, to making this choice to become the fake Fall Maiden, yeah, it's not, that's gonna be, she's not gonna, hurt John or anything, so, anyways, though, so while this is happening, while basically this is happening along with Izuku trying out new things he can do, and Max is there, Pyrrha, though, and John, Lee and Nora, she's basically thinking about it, Pyrrha. She goes, so I'll have basically something similar to the Fall Main powers, but different. They won't be as powerful as the real one, but I won't have any side effects. So, I don't see no reason why I shouldn't just say yes. And, John says, Pyrrha, you okay? She goes, oh, yeah, sorry, just thinking about something. And when she goes, for your next fight? She goes, yeah, I wonder how I'm going to take down this Penny girl. Which, Nora saying, just basically just go in hard, basically fight, dodge everything, and, strike whenever you can. And win! Crush her, basically. As, Lee basically gave her the same green drink for helping her out and stuff. But, yeah. That same scene happens. So, though, she says she's gonna have to go. Where she goes is, Ozpin. Right when Good Witch and Crow are there, he's like, so, are you serious? How is Amber able to do that? How is she even able to keep magic in her? Which Good Witch says, I don't know. And Osmond just says, the world is a mystery. We cannot deny that. And, well, from what I can see, it seems that it is not just magic. It has the same field of, well, as the Maiden's power still. Which they shot with, which Crow says, wait, doesn't that mean? He goes, no. The Maiden's power is gone. It might be something more than we can know. Like, she may have found a way to be living on, but through the power of the Maiden. Which is like, how? Well, Crow just said, I mean, not Crow, but Osmond says, the Maiden's power had a consciousness to choose who was going to be the next wielder. And so, there is another theory I just started to, well, think. If Amber dies, her soul would technically be gone. She would die. But what if the reason how she can still form into the spirit out of her body, and even give, well, Pyrrha, Nikos, abilities similar to the Maiden's power, but not 100% like them, weaker than them, is the fact that she became the power of the Maiden itself. Which Crow goes like, okay. As soon as this Izuku kid came into this dimension, everything's been going topsy-turvy. So, like, how? How's that even possible? Which Osmond just says, maybe the will of the Falmane's power allowed this to happen. Allowed her, since she was still young, to at least still stay alive through the Maiden's power, to see through the next wielder's eyes, aka Izuku's. And which Ku was just saying, but that's completely ludicrous and crazy, and that doesn't even make sense. In which Osmond just says, does anything in this world of ours make sense, Gloria? Which she goes, no. He goes, exactly. Like, Glinda, I mean, not Gloria, Glinda. Sorry, I just had to double check that. Anyways, so Crow just says, okay, so we got a guy from a different dimension, basically, all the power of the Maidens have some sort of will of their own to do this stuff, and yet, why do they have to? Oh wait, that makes completely good sense why they choose. When, which Osmond nods. So, hold on. Alright, so basically this is when Pyrrha comes in. She goes, Headmaster Osmond, I made my decision. He goes, really? This quickly? She goes, yes. I will become the, fake Fall Maiden. As then all of a sudden, Emperor appears. She goes, good! I was hoping you would say yes. And, Osmond has an eyebrow raise, and Crow's just like, how long have you been here? She goes, oh, just got here. Didn't you see me come through the floor? And he's like, no, I was too shocked that you were even here. And she goes, oh, sorry. So, basically, Pyrrha goes like, how would this work? And he goes, easy. As all of a sudden, these semblance are forming in her hand. Basically. And she goes, what? How is this? He goes, it's kind of complicated, but I infused my own magic into them and I made them. So, basically, one's for fire, then one's for electricity, basically lightning, then one's for air, and, oh my god. And basically, you can use the air basically to freeze leaves. To make into projectiles if you wanted to. Or just air cannons, whatever. Hold on, I'll check what that was. Okay, it was nothing really that big. But anyways, Pyrrha's like, oh, well. She goes, yep, so. Pyrrha Nikos, I give you this new semblance to represent the Fall Maiden. And so she basically, they go flying in towards Pyrrha as, they basically are absorbed into her. And boom. She basically has them activated, but it's something like, they're like not that big. They're not overpowered. They're limited to her skill with it. So, since she doesn't know it that well, she's not gonna be that strong. And so we will basically now goes to Osman and goes like, I wonder how you even do that. But I will not judge or even ask questions. And she goes, thanks. I mean, I kind of learned this trick from somebody. Which Osman just thinks to himself, it was my fault for making that semblance for Izuku. Right in front of her. And even explain how to. She planned this ahead of time. So, after that, Pyrrha leaves. She says thank you to Amber. After Pyrrha leaves and everything, Osmond asks Amber, may I ask you a question? She goes, sure. I mean, I'll have to get back to my body soon. I mean, if I'm far away, I can only stay out of it for so long. He goes, which Osmond goes, okay. Did you somehow able to connect part of your soul to the the Fallen Maiden's power? The Fallen Maiden's power? In which she goes, would you even believe me if I even said it? Izuku is really coming far already without any help. And, if I was a part of it, it would just take the form of me, not being me. That's all. I'll be dead. I've already foreseen my death. I'm fine with it. I know Izuku's gonna go far. So, I'm not worried. In which, she says, anyways, gotta go. And, she leaves. And so, basically, Oddsman goes back to thinking. Crow goes like, alright, that was weird. Am I the only one gonna say that? Which, basically, Glinda is saying, nope. You're not the only one who thinks that's weird. Hold on, guys. Alright, so, basically, everything from there will technically go from canon. And we would technically go to the Penny fight. Just, Penny and Pyrrha fight, but everything's going into canon until the part where, Izuku wasn't really there, and Emerald used this opportunity to try to make, Pyrrha to activate her semblance. Polarity, basically, to rip apart Penny. But, unknowingly, Izuku was technically coming back, and the funniest thing is, somehow in some way, he followed the source of, semblance, and it was from, he followed it, and then he sees, basically, Penny versus, not Penny versus, he basically sees Ruby versus Magma. Not Magma. Oh my god, I think I'm black over there for a minute. Mercury. As he goes, what the? As all of a sudden, he was about to turn the corner, he turned the corner, and then Wolf pulls him, and he goes, not Wolf, Max pulled him, and he was like, Max, what's up? As all of a sudden, the mask appears, coming off of him, basically turns into, this brown dust, turns into the mask, and he's like, what? Wait, anytime this comes on, it was in danger. Alright. I think it means danger's gonna come soon. So basically, he puts on the mask, and then all of a sudden, Max jumps right onto Izuku. This time, though, going, absorbed into Izuku's body, as the mask, that, Izuku had, basically turns into a Grimm mask somewhat, has the same type of coloring to it, and his clothing basically are all, basically has gloves on, his hunter outfit, but, he gets covered in dust and such, then it forms gloves. Well, in this case, his hood, basically he has like ears grown and a tail appears out of nowhere. Reasons why I just wanted to do that because I thought it would be why not funny and also pretty interesting. And then his nails get a little bit sharper, and well, from the mask, his eyes are glowing red. He was like, What happened to me? And my voice? What's going on? But he basically, like, for some reason, I know I said like twice, but he basically sees Pyrrha freaking out a little bit. He's like, no time to act. Right? No time to think. So he runs, and he knows that his speed has increased a lot, even without, with his, basically cloak. It's, well, his speed doubled that. When he's running normally, he, gradually catches up to his speed fast. To be on the same level as Ruby, and a little bit faster, without, even electricity coming off him. But in this case, he basically passes Ruby, passes Mercury, jumps up in the air, and he doesn't even snap his fingers. He just gets right in. He's just getting right in front of Pyrrha and Penny and smacks his fist into the ground, making them both knocked down. Which then, well, we have our girl Emerald shot by this because the illusion was, dissolved, and he goes, and Izuku can feel this magical, not magical, but the semblance in the air. He says, so that's how it is. Someone activated their semblance. Which everyone hears him saying that. Professor, Oblek and basically Professor Peter are in shock by this. And he goes, who are you? He's like, Professor Peter was like, who are you, basically? And he was like, it does not matter who I am. All that matter is, well, all of a sudden, the screens are basically changing color, basically becoming red with a chess piece on it. Hold on. Alright, so basically, then he hears a voice saying, well, it looks like you stopped our little fun before it even began. But it does not matter. Because, well, it's only about to begin even more. As all of a sudden, they see a big giant Grimm, coming to basically the field as everyone is shot by this. Basically the bird Grimm. As she says exactly the same thing in canon, as Izuku, well, has his bow staff out. And he jumps up in the air. He grabs, basically, like he's about to pull out a sword, and cuts through, he cut through the field a little bit, but he also, kills the Grimm. Basically, but it does shatter the field. Which everyone is shocked by this. Mercury is like, holy shit. And Emerald's just like, how did he get out of here? So, give me a minute. So, basically, what's happening is that everyone's freaking, out, and everyone's running, and, like, Ironwood says exactly the same thing, but he jumps out of where the announcement is, and he has his gun pointed towards Izuku. He basically says, who are you? And all of a sudden Izuku snaps his fingers as he feels something different. Something strange. And then he basically sees the, the power, saying, it seems like your semblance evolved. Force evolved. Because you became a part Grimm. Izuku's eyes widen. And he just thinks to himself, then how am I able to still use my semblance? It shouldn't be possible. As, Ironwood goes like, who are you? Basically. As when Izuku holds out his hand, he basically, something his hand starts going, black, as Ironwood's, well, gun comes out of his hand into Izuku's. And Pyrrha thinks to herself, but that's my semblance. He goes, so, Izuku basically looks at Ironwood. He goes like, I'm not your enemy, General. He throws it back to him, and the field, basically the shadow field stops, which he just realized. He was like, wait, He nods. He goes, don't question how this is even possible. This is new to me too. So, get everyone out of here. It feels like more are attacking. I can feel it in the air. And it sickens me. Which, Ironwood's like, whoa, what the hell happened to this kid's personality? It's like a 180. Like, seriously. So, Izuku walks over to Penny. He goes, Penny, are you alright? She goes, yes, who are... And when she basically looked at the mask and such, sensors scanned, facial features, even though it's covered by a mask, she goes, wait, you're... As he covered her mouth, he goes like, don't. I don't know what's going on. So please don't say it. She nods, and then he hears someone in his head. He was like, Izuku, we need to hurry. Other Grimms are coming. When she goes, wait, who are... He goes, it's me, Max. Remember, I'm a part of you. I'm your negativity. The emotions inside of you that you held in for so long. He goes, which he thinks that, wait, does that mean then... Which Max says, yes. It's complicated, but... Well, it works. So, Izuku just says, alright, I'll ask about this later then. Which Max says, thank you. So, as everyone starts calling for their weapons and such, Ruby's phone was broken, so Sun did throw his phone. She got her weapon. Everything from there will go to cannon, but Izuku basically tells everyone he'll meet them on the ground. But all of a sudden, blue fire is being formed in his hand, as he basically shoots a stream of it outwards. After it stops, he basically starts to, let's just say, move his hands in a certain way, start forming it, and there's multiple different fire creatures in the air, basically that he conjured. And basically he tells them, take care of everything, take care of all the griffins in the sky. I'll take care of everything on the ground. Which these birds, basically, phoenixes nod. As Ruby goes, wait, as he goes, you should really get going. I'll be taking care of everything on the ground. So, be ready for a war zone. As he jumps off. When he's, jumping off, Ruby, runs over to her. She's thinking, Izuku, what happened? So Penny says, do not worry. He's fine. I can tell he's still there. But this new look, I don't know what about it. I don't know anything about this. Which Ironwood, goes over and goes like, Ozpin always said he was an interesting kid. Now I get it. A lot of things changed everything changed when he came around. So we're going back over to Izuku while he's falling. He basically lands near, he basically is, actually on the roof of the tower. Basically of Ozpin's, where his actual, offices. And Izuku did technically have a mean fall. He didn't land. He was rolling until he put his hands into the actual, his nails into the actual metal, and he was slowly stopping himself. And then when he does, he's on the edge. He looks down. He's like, oh, okay, because he sees concrete, which a platform, and he lets go as Ozpin is there. He's like, who are Izuku? Is that you? He goes, yes, Ozpin. Which he goes like, how? He goes, Max. Max somehow merged with me. And when I put on the mask that I formed, and he goes, oh, well, how do you, like, did you even communicate with him? He's like, yes, he told me because he's a part of me, you know, all my negative emotions and such. He was basically able to merge with me. That's the only way I can sum it up. So, you have a minute, guys? Alright, so basically, Ozpin looks at him, blinks for a few minutes, he goes like, alright then, I believe it. And this is the first time this has ever happened in history, so I'm not judging. Anyways, what are you doing here? He's like, you know all those Grimms are down there? He goes, yes. I'm here to kill them. So, yeah. He goes, alright, just stay safe. I don't, well, show anyone that you have, you know, he was right. He basically goes to the balcony edge and he goes, you stay safe, Ozpin. Also, start using that antivirus if you can. Which he does nod. And so he even sent it to the ship. But he's thinking, wait, the main ship is going to be able to control all the robots. What happens if I send an email to all the ships and the antivirus will spread through it? That way, if it does get controlled for any reason, this way, when they open it, it will basically get rid of it right away and have an automatic shutdown. That seemed to work. So basically, while the whole entire world is seen beacon under attack by Grimm, Izuku and Mercury's taking the video of it. Izuku lands and they see it. Mercury's like, who the heck is this guy? Seriously! As lightning starts to, come off of him, and a sword appears from out when he takes off the sheath out of his bow staff. He goes, now, let's have some fun. So, Izuku runs, and it's in mere minutes where multiple Grimms are being cut down into pieces, which everyone around the world is seeing. Cinder saying, this is going to be quite a problem. We need to have it awakened now. Which Ironwood is saying, I don't know how it's going to be possible. So, yeah, a lot of things are happening a lot more quicker. So basically, what happens in this one is that the big, giant, dragon-like Grimm will awaken, but it will be like before Pyrrha goes with Ozpin. And John, going with, her too. So, Izuku's taking care of all of them. Weiss and Blake, he basically sees them. A Grimm is about to come out, come over and hit them. As he appeared, cutting the Grimm in, two. Which surprises both of them. As he says, are you two alright? Which they ask, yeah, who are? And when he turns around, they see the mask. They see the ears. Basically, it is the ears are black, even the tail, but his hair is white. He doesn't have the hood on, so basically the mask is being a part of his hair, and the ears are in the tail are slowly turning white. Which they're like, what are you? He's like, I'm half Grimm, and I'm half of a person. Look, I have no time for this game or chit-chat. I don't want to be rude, but there's a lot of people in danger. So, just stay safe, both of you. In which, they don't understand why, but he goes, and besides, Ice Queen, I mean, you guys do summon out your little minions. Remember all the training we did? Which are like, wait, how did you... And she just realized it, and Blake's like, look out! As, when she's about to strike, all of a sudden, Izuku just snaps his fingers, and he basically... The Grimm gets weaker, but he does get, Blake's semblance, where it hits him, and it's just image is just there. She goes, what the? As they just see the body of the Grimm just falls. And he goes, huh, I wonder if I'm able to keep these. He's thinking to himself, because I also got Weiss's ability. Huh. I wonder. As then the power, says, your semblance did increase. We can actually use other people's semblance, remember. But the semblance you have are technically weaker than the original. He goes, so he just says to himself, so that means I do have the semblance in me, but the problem is they're weak. Do I have to train them or something? As he's just pondering this while they're just looking at him and, like, what the? And so he basically snaps out of it. He goes like, anyways, I gotta get going. Goodbye. As he just runs off. And it does leave a trail of feathers, which Blake's like, Izuku? So Weiss just says, what happened to him? She, like, do you know? Which Blake nods. So while Izuku's taking care of all these, like, Grimms, it's basically all around Beacon, and then he's basically going into the city. In which, technically speaking, he is getting tired, because there's a lot of Grimms coming, and he doesn't know, how to stop this. So basically, by this time, Ozpin did send out the email to all the places that, all the ships, and the most funniest thing was that when Roman Tortrick, yeah, it's like, huh? An email? I wonder who could it be from? And probably just a scam, but important information on, ooh, a bank. Nice. Let's see. As all of a sudden he basically pressed to open up the email, and then it pops out a fucking crow. He's like, what the? As he basically holds out a sign saying, antivirus installed. And boom. Like, the whole entire, forces were being taken, like, were being destroyed by Izuku, so the robots and all that did happen. And technically, right when, well, how can I say this? So right when they basically see Izuku kill a Grimm, this is when the, live video was shut off. Many people don't even know who that person was, but they had a freaking mask of a Grimm, and yet he's killing his own kind. Nobody knows what's going on. Some people are freaking out. Weiss's father is, is questioning anything, So he is going to still get her. But the thing is, though, a helicopter, person is there while he's basically in the car going to, airport and get her. Onto a plane to get her. They just said, it looks like the robots are stopped firing. It looks like they're being shut down. What's going on? Like, like they were, first they were saying they were fighting Grimms, now they were fighting people, and now this is happening. So Zuko's like grinning, he's like, see, it did work. Nice. Which Cinder is saying, what? When did they have this? How's this even possible? She's like all confused and enraged. And so, even though there's like a, the fear was basically taken away from the city, like somewhat, the dragon bird, I think the dragon ancient Grimm does come out. And Izuku was realizing his, huntsman outfit is getting more to look like a Grimm, but different. He's keeping his natural human shape. It's just this black ooze that's coming from him, and is changing. It's becoming more fire. He's like, what the hell is happening? Which, Max says, this is a side effect of us being combined into one. I'm a part of you, so that means I also hold the power of the Fall Maiden. But this is unexpected. But I have a feeling we're gonna be able to do something impossible ever seen. So, which then they see the big giant, dragon, Grimm creature flying around as well. Right at this time, Blake would be technically, getting into a fight with Adam, Rex. So yeah, and Pyrrha and John and Ozpin are going down to the vault, and Cinder realizes this and she's gonna go after them. And so though, Izuku says that is one big ugly Grimm, which Wolf says, I know. Let's try to burn it from the inside. He goes, right. Wait, how am I even gonna get up there? He goes, I don't know, jump or something, Izuku. He's like, yeah, quit nagging me, Max. So, hold on. Okay, so basically Izuku, basically get into a jump position as Yang sees him. She's like, what the? When he jumps up, it makes a crater. I'm not gonna lie. You know why? Okay, so basically this form he takes on is a half-human Grimm. Basically, he gets the features of, the white mask, his hair will turn white, his basically ears, that are technically, wolf ears, will be going white too, because of the mask. And, yeah, some part of his body will technically get, will be showing, signs of, looks like the Grimm is corrupting him, but no, that's supposed to be normal. Everything about him will be the same. It's just he's a half Grimm. And yes, Max can come off of him and just be the wolf that we all know, and do whatever he wants. It's just that this is this is just a transformation. And so you're basically saying BS, but I'm making this black ooze come off of Izuku for a reason. So, you're about to say BS on this one. So basically, when Izuku he does get to the Grimm, it was flying low, basically. As, he gets to the Grimm, he's on it. As Cinder, doesn't see this, but, Mercury and Emerald do, they say, what is he? They say he has arm, the clothing, no one can see it under, but Izuku did remove his sleeve to see the black ooze coming off of him. But it was forming around his arm and becoming orange. So when Izuku says, alright then, as fires in his hand, he was like, burn to ash! So he plunges his hand into the Grimm and he starts cranking up the heat. But something's happening. It's not burning. It's glowing. He goes, what's happening? Max, what's going on? And he goes I don't know. But something's different. Something's weird. Basically they start screaming. And it sounds like a human and a Grimm screaming at exactly the same time, which sends chills down the people that are hearing the spine. As all of a sudden there's basically a huge explosion that sends Izuku off, making a crate, how he lands is basically the ground's being pushed as he's skidding on it, skidding on the surface of the ground, which it makes a little hill where he was. He goes, and he's hurts, but for some reason he feels like it hurts a lot, but he's able to get up. He goes, why did it hurt so much? And how am I even conscious? As when he looks, he's looking around and such, he sees more Grimms are fallen, but they're orange now. And when they land, when they form, they look like they have fire on them. Which Izuku's like, what the? So he looks at the Grimm that he thought he killed. It's completely having fire on it. Izuku goes, what the hell just happened to it? As, basically Max says, I don't know. But whatever it is, I have a feeling it's on our side now. as the creature, the dragon starts to fly down and lands in front of Izuku. He goes, "What?" As it basically, bows his head to him. He was like, "Wait, did I, did I turn you into my ally?" As it nods, he goes, "All right then. If you are on my side, and you wish to help me, make as many Grimms as you can. Spread them out throughout the area. Have them fight every Grimm that's trying to kill any civilians, hunters, huntresses, anyone. All right?" As it nods and flies up, and it starts doing that, which some people are going around towards Izuku, especially Weiss, and she goes, "Izuku, Blake, Yang, Game went to go look for Blake." Which everyone's like, "Wait, this is Izuku." He's like, "Where? Show me the direction." And she does. He goes, "Got it." While he's getting up and he's like kind of limping for a few minutes, then he's about to get around and start. Blake, I'm not Blake. Weiss grabs his arm. He goes, and she says, "How did you do that?" He goes, I don't know. I don't know. This is new to me. I'm sorry I can't explain much, but..." She goes, "I know. We'll talk afterwards, okay?" But she nods, and he just starts running. In which, well, in this city, Goodwitch and Crow and some hunters and huntresses are fighting off Grimms. And, well, they start to see different Grimms. Like, one Grimm, basically a bear-like, sees a beowulf about to, attack, Crow. Glinda does. Goodwitch, basically. And then also, they see a bear that's on fire and orange hit that beowulf into a wall and just roars at it and runs towards it and starts, killing it. Slashing at it, which Crow's like, this is new? Which Glinda, and she's like, aka Goodwitch, says, "Yeah, it is." Basically, though, our basically jerk of the series, I think, in this volume, Ironwood, says, "This must be the work of Izuku." Which they're like, "Huh? What do you mean?" He goes, "He changed. He looks like a Grimm mixed with a human. And I guess this is a part of the transformation. He's able to control other Grimms by using the Fall Maiden's power." Which, they're shocked by this. And Crow says, wait, that Cerberus Grimm." Which, they both look at him and go like, "Cerberus Grimm?" He's like, "Okay, yeah, ancient Grimm, able to talk. Alright, basically became a blacksmith. Said to watch out for him when he transforms. I didn't think it was, a big deal at the time, but now since he actually did transform, what does he look like?" He basically describes it. He's like, "Well then, this is gonna work out in our favor, I think." And basically, he goes, "How so?" He's like, and Crow just says, "Look around." As they see multiple freaking different, Izuku's Grimms fighting for, them. Wiping out the Grimms that are even coming into, Hold on. So, Mercury and Emerald are shocked and baffled by this, and don't even understand how this is possible. They are just so awestruck that they're just watching it all. Well, meanwhile, Izuku and... not Izuku. I meant the Empire. Izuku running. He basically hears Blake scream, and then Yang pissed off and, tries to attack, Adam. So basically he saw, her just leaping, and he gets there, he just sees her arm getting cut off. And, yeah. And then basically, he's mad. Because that's a friend of his. And blue flames are starting to turn a different color. Saying the next, basically become a lighter, a lighter blue. But when he basically sees him about to go and try to kill Blake because she got in front of him, he just dashes. Like, speed, with the electricity, he basically then has a scarf turn into, basically, Crow's sword. And when basically Blake's about to activate her semblance, he basically blocks it with the sword as the mask is moved to the side. And which Blake did close her eyes, and she heard a clang, basically, the sound of metal hitting metal. She opens them, and she just sees, Izuku in front of her with the mask off. Yang is, in and out of consciousness, but he says, I made it. Are you... And basically he sees Blake bleeding, and then, just imagine the image where he gave to Shinzo, that turn, he's given to Adam. As Adam backed away for a few minutes, as Izuku basically, the flames are roaring off of him, becoming, from light blue, starting to turn light blue to black. As the Grimms are starting to change, the flames that they were having to black. Which, this is shocking. Well, everyone. They became more powerful, basically. As he just says, I'm going to kill you. Basically to, Adam. No offense, I don't like character Adam, so technically I want to say exactly the same thing to him. I don't know if he became good, but it's just how he talked about, Blake, and you would go that far just to make her suffer, just because she she left you, betrayed you, basically. Yeah, I mean, dude, like, it's just because I don't know how I can see from his view about the Faunus, as a watcher, so it's just like how they deserve way more respect, but the way he goes about it, and then you want to make her suffer just because she changed sides, it's just pissed me off. So this is kind of me, even like him just like stabbing her in the side of her, stomach, in her side. That just really did piss me off because it's like, dude, what the fudge? If you're basically calling her your, love, or your love, basically, and stuff, or darling, whatever, it's just, why? Okay, besides me having a little bit of a gripe with that, so Izuku is slowly, turning his body, but Blake can see, she basically can tell there's a lot of murderous intent that's gonna happen. And she's looking at Adam, and he's backing away, and he feels death is in front of him. He's going like, what is he? What's going on? As, she sees he's afraid, as Izuku is losing sight of who he is. Technically, in this transformation, I did forget to mention, he is way more easily angered. To the point where he can actually go on full-on Grimm mode. Mindless beast. So, she can tell this is, he's not himself, and something's gonna happen. So, she's trying to, say his name, even, the Maiden's power, basically, is trying to, tell him to calm down. Nothing's happening. So, Blake can only think of one thing, and this kind of is to confess how she feels to him. So, right when he's about to, get up fully, she basically grabs his face, and this does, cause him to look over to her for a minute, as then he basically sees her kissing him, basically, which Adam is shocked by this. Izuku, is shocked too, and the flames are dying down, and he does close his eyes, in which the power is basically saying, oh, thank God he didn't lose himself. Even basically Max was pissed, and yeah, technically, he's thinking, shit, we almost lost ourselves there. So, after a few minutes pass, she basically stops kissing him, And she goes, "It's okay. I'm not dead. It'll heal." And he goes, I'm sorry. She goes, "Just don't ever lose yourself, okay? I don't want you to end up like him." And he basically looks back at Adam and he nods. He puts back on the mask. He goes, "I'll never let that happen. I will never want to hurt you like that, Blake." He goes, "You better not." And he's just standing up. And he's still looking at her. And Yane's thinking, "I'm the third wheel here. Crap." So, and then basically she finally like goes unconscious, and he just tells her to get her out. He's telling Blake to get out of here. I can handle him. She goes, "Are you sure?" He was like, he just looking at her and nods. He goes, "I'm way more powerful than I was before. So, trust in me." She does not, and she does grab Yang and starts running. Which, well, Adam was like, "Phew." He was shocked by this, and he was like, thinking, how could she do this, basically. He's like, "You, I'll kill you and bring her your head, so that way my love will understand I'm the only one that will ever be there for her." And Izuku was basically looking at, when he said that, he basically kept an eye on them to leave. But when he looks at Adam, and when he said that, he was like, "Love? Is that how you show your love?" You really are just an idiot. An annoyance. So, I'm going to give you a few reminders of me. As basically Izuku has his, sword out, as it starts glowing on fire, in which Adam gets into a stance, as, well, they both start clashing swords. Adam's trying to get a hit on Izuku that's fatal. He's able to dodge it, because time is slowing down. And then all of a sudden, he's basically to make fire erupt from the ground or explode around Adam. He's like, "What the?" As boom, like he gets one strike on Adam, which goes right over his. Well, imagine Zoro's scar, basically. Yeah, he does that. But the thing is, his blade's on fire. So basically, that thing, while basically it was going across him, side to arm, shoulder, right to left, it basically was also cauterizing the wound. So there's no blood. But it is going to become a nasty scar. In which he goes like, "Ah! What? No," he goes, "I cauterize your wound. You won't bleed. But it will leave a scar. Come on." Say, "I'll kill you." Basically that's Adam saying that to Izuku. So, Adam's trying to use everything he can. He's using his gun. Izuku's dodging it. Then all of a sudden, Izuku disappears from Adam's view. And what Adam sees is feathers going from, coming like from the, air, falling down to the ground. He goes, "What the?" As he basically feels immense pain on his face. As Izuku says, "I don't have time for you. You're just weak. Get out of my sight." Because while he started to notice during the fight that the power of the Fall Maiden was nearby. And the whole entire fight with Pyrrha, not the whole entire fight, the whole entire thing with Amber dying happened during this fight. So when he basically looks to his side, he sees the power suddenly taking form, it's just a, orange figure suddenly turns into Amber, and she goes, and basically the power basically says, "It looks like Amber died, but she's a part of me now, and she'll still live on." Which he goes, "Amber?" She says, "No, I'm still the Fall Maiden, power, but I just took on the form of Amber." She knew this was gonna happen, Izuku. Don't worry. Which he goes, "Damn it." So we will go down to the whole entire, vault. As Cinder's were like, "Wait, what? Where's the power? What happened to it?" As basically Ozpin is chuckling. He was like, It looks like you were too late. The power seemed to already have chosen somebody, or was given. As basically Pyrrha's coming out of the tube. I mean not tube, but container where she was gonna go into. As she was like, "You!" She's pointing to Cinder's pointing to Pyrrha. She was, "You have it." As she goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." With a grin, as she's basically being pissed. So the fate is, I'm saying Ozpin is weak. Let me finish before I get saying, "Oh, how is he weak? He's like the most powerful being," because of his. Because I also want him to basically still technically. Actually, nah, we don't really need to, since if I really think about it, he technically will not die. But I want to say he will find the character from the next volume, and start training him. That we briefly see sometimes. So, yep, give me a minute. And so, what happens is this. Pyrrha and John get out of there, while Ozpin's fighting Cinder. Cinder is getting her butt whipped really badly. To the point where, well, she will have to escape, but Ozpin says, "It does not matter if you escape. The one who holds the power of the Fall Maiden will come and get it back. I'm sure of it. He has a knack for the flame, so to speak." As she's like, "Does not matter, I'll find it. And when I do, I'll make sure I come back here and get rid of this school." So basically, the whole time her, leaving does happen. She goes all the way up to Ozpin's, She does not know what happened to the big giant dragon Grimm. So she gets up there to to Ozpin's place. By place, I mean his... Sorry, my head went blank there for a minute. His office. As, Pyrrha does go exactly the same way up. As where John gets sent flying, Izuku basically coming around, as then he sees Ozpin. He's like, "Ozpin?" He goes, "Izuku, I have a feeling Miss Nikos is up there fighting the one who holds the power of the Fall Maiden." He's like, "Shit, that means, yes, you have to go up there as soon as possible." He goes, "Alright." So Izuku basically jumps onto the tower, his claws in it, but he just starts running up it. So the entire thing with Weiss, Blake, Yang, and Ruby, that stuff happened. Weiss and Weiss and Ruby are fighting Grimms as Ozpin comes out of there, nowhere and starts helping them, which surprises them. And then he basically says, "Someone needs to go up there as soon as possible. How about Miss Pyrrha and that young gentleman with wolf ears?" Which we know that's Izuku. He's like, "Good thing you can recognize your teammate." Anyways, go. Which, the whole time Ruby jumping up. Meanwhile, though, that fight did take a couple of minutes to happen. So Izuku's running up there as fast as possible. Since with his increased speed, he gets up there and the fight's happening. And basically, he jumps through the window, and let's just say this. Cinder took a cheap shot, fired multiple arrows. They went, past Pyrrha's, shield, hit her in the ankle, and then one in the heart. In which, the thing is, Izuku immediately dashes forward, pushing Cinder out of the way, and right when he basically touches Pyrrha, she basically was almost turned into glass. But he basically stopped the process. But in those few minutes when she did turn, she was about to turn, she was turning, and he stopped it basically. He reversed the process by having the arrows come out and stuff. And let's just say this. Pyrrha's in a coma. Will she ever come back in this series? Whenever I feel like it. I don't. But technically, she is out of it, and she technically is near a death state. As in all of a sudden, well, right whenever Ruby's running up the whole entire building, the dragon comes in and smacks away the well the roof and stuff, which I was going like, did he? No, that couldn't have happened. And well, he basically puts Pyrrha on the dragon's back and he says, "Get her to safety. Understand me?" Which it nods. So he jumps off, and Izuku basically, after it leaves, he looks at Cinder. He's like, huh, "Nice trick. How are you able to stop it?" He goes, "Oh, easy." As basically dust comes off of him, two blades appears in his hand. The staff is right behind, on his backside, basically shrunken. She was like, "What the?" He goes, "You have a neat semblance. Like it. Now let's dance, Cinder." She was like, "I don't know what you are, but I will not lose." So while mid a fight, Izuku basically, well, he's able to outmaneuver her. She's trying everything she can. And when he kicks her to, a pillar, and she hits it, he goes, "Enough." So, he grabs Cinder, by the throat, as all of a sudden, the flame around her eye is starting to, come off of her. And it looks like flames are starting, to leave her. Where she was like, "What the? You stole this power first. So I'm just stealing it back." As well, for Cinder, she had 100%, which was half, so a good 50 of it. And well, she basically feels it rapidly leaving her. She's thinking, no, I can't lose this. And so she basically conjured up the last of her strength, in which then Izuku sees it, he lets go, the explosion happened in front of him. Well, as in, she basically used the destruction as when this was when Ruby, sees him. She says, she's about to say his name, as in, a huge giant pillar of glass, from the rubble basically shoots at Izuku. Him basically taking it. Hold on, guys, hold on.